Sometimes they are, and sometimes they're not. Welcome to this episode of Am I the Asshole? Our first one is from Emotional Brief 8606. Am I the asshole for not going on a cruise where my sister-in-law invited two other couples we do not know? My sister-in-law and I were planning to go on a cruise together with our husbands. Her husband is my brother. We are all in our 40s. She booked their cruise and I hadn't booked ours yet as I was busy. She thought I had already booked ours. As we are texting about the cruise, she texts me that she invited two other couples to go and they have booked too. We don't know any of these people at all. It isn't the first time she's invited people we don't know to functions, like dinner out. I thought we're just going to be the four of us. Many times when other people are invited, my husband and I are cast aside and tend to feel like fifth wheels. We pay for our own dinner and always been good sports about it. My husband no longer wishes to go, and frankly, neither do I. If we had planned on other couples going and invited some friends we know, that would be one thing, but we hadn't. Not one time in our plans was inviting others mentioned. Now we're thrown in with people they have known for years that we don't know at all. So we decided we don't want to go on an expensive cruise, not to mention the time off work, with strangers. I told her we've decided to not go, but to have fun with our friends. It was a bit hurtful, but we're trying to be good sports about it and not cause a fuss. She doesn't understand why we don't want to go and is now upset with us. She doesn't think it's any big deal to invite others. My husband and I would never dream of imposing strangers, even for dinner, without first discussing it with the folks we made original plans with. Now I think, am I the asshole for canceling going on a cruise? I suppose, am I the asshole for controlling who she invites? I am the asshole for seeming petty. If you invite others, my husband and I aren't going. I definitely relate where the OP is coming from. If you make plans and other people aren't included in those plans but get added in afterward, it kind of seems like, why did you even make the plans in the first place if they were just gonna be modified? I don't think the OP's an asshole for not wanting to go or anything like that. This next one is by Farzia 2010. Am I the asshole for bringing my own food to a wedding? So I, 36 female, went to my college friend's wedding last weekend. I was really excited for it. She is a good friend and I wanted to celebrate. The issue is I have a medical condition that means I can't eat certain common ingredients, gluten and dairy. It's not a fad diet or a preference. I get very sick if I eat them. I mentioned this on the RSVP card where it asked about dietary restrictions. The bride told me the venue couldn't guarantee anything gluten or dairy-free because of cross-contamination, but she hoped I'd make do with the salad and fruit. I didn't want to cause trouble, so I just quietly brought a small container of safe food in my bag, literally just grilled chicken and rice. When dinner was served, I discreetly went outside for 5 minutes, ate it quickly, then came back in to join everyone. I didn't make a scene, didn't bring smelly food, didn't take anything away from the event. Turns out, the groom's mother saw me with the container outside and apparently told a bunch of people I was disrespecting the caterer and making the couple look cheap. At the reception, she confronted me and said I was embarrassing the family and that I should have just eaten beforehand if I had an issue. I explained that I wanted to be there for the full event and didn't want to faint or get sick. She rolled her eyes and said I was selfish and that the wedding is about the couple, not about your diet. Some of our mutual friends also agreed that I made an asshole move and made the couple look bad. Now I'm wondering if I really crossed the line. I didn't want to draw attention, but maybe I should have handled it differently? So am I the asshole for bringing my own food to a wedding? Update. Thank you all for your responses and for understanding. It helped me be secure in my choice and not second guess myself as much. Definitely not an asshole for putting your medical condition over anything else. The bride and groom couldn't even guarantee if the food would be gluten and dairy free, so to make sure that you have your own food so you can stay and enjoy the event, I really don't see what the problem is, and it doesn't make the bride or groom look bad at all. This next one is from Throwaway830583. Would I be the asshole if I threatened to turn off my Life 360? I, 19 female, am in my first week of college. I've had Life 360 with my parents since I was about 16 for general safety reasons. However, they're a bit overbearing and controlling about where I go, even after I turned 18. I've found myself being extremely stressed about doing very normal things and being worried about them getting upset. Before I left for college, my mom asked me to leave my Life 360 on, joking about how she wants to know what ditch to get me out of if something goes wrong, which I completely understand, but my parents have been obsessively checking my location since I've gotten here. They've mentioned in passing places I went, literally like stores to buy stuff for school, when I didn't tell them I was going. They've been pressuring me to go to church and checking my location frequently to make sure I am. I don't want to, but I like to keep the peace. It's a bit uncomfortable. I'm wondering if I'd be the asshole if I told them that if they don't stop stalking me, I'm going to turn off my Life 360. I understand the reasoning behind wanting me to have it, but it's uncomfortable knowing that wherever I am, they're probably looking constantly. I'd appreciate any input y'all have. Edit. Wow, posting here has been so validating and I feel less crazy. Thank you for your kind words of support and advice. I haven't done anything yet. I've decided to wait until my next therapy appointment to talk it out with my therapist before I take action. I might update if I remember. I understand some parents are actually protective of their children even well into adulthood, but to literally bring up places that your kid has gone because they didn't tell you that stuff, like that just kind of goes a little bit over that boundary, I think, of what is and isn't appropriate. Definitely not the asshole, and not the asshole if they decide to turn that Life 360 off. And our final one is by Cherry Oatmeal. Am I the asshole for not changing my annual backyard party plans for my boyfriend and his kids? I, 42 female, have been hosting an end of summer party with my neighbors for years. It's always the same setup. Adults and kids come, we all celebrate together, and at some point, the kids go to sleep while the adults continue the evening. This year's plan was the same. I was going to bring my kids, 6 and 10 years old, inside to sleep at our home, which is right next to the backyard. From the balcony, there is both audio and visual access to the yard, and my kids also have a phone they can use to call me if needed. After putting them to bed, I plan to go back to the backyard for a little while longer to enjoy the evening with friends. I invited my boyfriend of 6 months, 46 male, and his kids, 5 and 7 years old, to join us. He declined, saying he didn't feel comfortable leaving his kids to sleep at my place since they hadn't stayed there before. He also didn't like the idea of putting them to bed at my place while he stayed outside with me, or going to bed with them while I stayed outside. I told him I understood completely and didn't have a problem with him choosing not to come. But then he got upset and said that he and his kids weren't actually welcome at the party because of the way the party was set up. I explained that this party has been running for years with the same format, and it's not really something I can or want to change for one guest. My view is that guests can decide if the event works for them, and if not, they don't have to come. In his opinion, I should have left the party with him and our kids when it was bedtime. On top of that, during the party, I didn't have time to call him because I wanted to focus on my guests and enjoy the evening. He was very hurt by this too, saying I should have made time. This all turned into a big argument. So, am I the asshole for not changing the setup of a tradition and for not calling during the party to accommodate my boyfriend and his kids? Well, I guess I can see why the boyfriend would want the OP to go to bed with him and the kids when it's bedtime, because the way he's acting like a fucking baby over all of this, I just can't even comprehend. I mean, if these plans have literally been in place longer than he's been in OP's life, I don't see what right he feels he has to come in and try to make a change to those plans. And no, the OP is not an asshole in this situation in any way, shape, or form. Alright, that's enough stories for the day. Well, that wraps up this episode of Am I the Asshole? If you liked the video, please drop a like, share my content on all of your social media, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell so you're notified every time I upload, and drop a comment down below. It really helps with the algorithm and helps new people find my channel. Thanks for watching, thanks to my patrons and super thanks contributors. Have a great day and stay safe out there.